Yo, so in the last video we did the Kage Kage No Mi review, which as many of you know was the 13th review in the series. That means that we have done all but one legendary and both mythicals that are available in the game so far, so today will be the last time that we do a legendary fruit until another one is added. With that being said, I'd like to give a big shout out to 2K for providing the Kage Kage No Mi for today's review. Alright, so my guy 2K messaged me, he was like, bro, I know you need a Kage for your review. If you want it, I got you right here, just pull up on the private server. I was like, alright, bet. There he is, waving, big W, big W. If there's one thing about 2K is that he's always gonna have it for you. And before we start, almost 96% of you guys are not subscribed, and all I want for Christmas is 2,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy this video or you've enjoyed any of my previous videos, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also comment and let me know which fruit or which weapon or whatever that you guys want next, because I am considering doing other reviews. But with that being said, let's get straight into the video. So as usual, we're gonna be rating Kage's strength, utility, rarity, and tradability, starting off with strength. Now the reason this video took so long was for actually multiple reasons, with the first being that I had to acquire a Kage in the first place. Like I said before, my guy 2K had that covered for me, but I also had to make another account to grind up to even get the moves on Kage. Now I was trying to do this on stream. If you guys didn't pick it up, it was on my Twitch, link is in the description. But one thing I noticed about Kage was that the damage was surprisingly low to what I thought it would be. A lot of the moves are very close in range, but I also noticed that a lot of them also have little to no pull time. That means you can pop them quickly and then just keep it moving, which makes it good for using like a sword or another weapon. Now obviously I don't want to rate the damage without knowing the maximum value, so I referred to my guy Blues just to see how much Kage could do at its full potential. Now like I said before, the pull times for this fruit are very low, but for some reason the damage is also extremely low. One of the moves, which I believe is the Burrowing Shadows, literally does 80 damage at max Devil Fruit. This is 1500 points into Devil Fruit because this fruit is capped off pretty hard on all of its moves. The best move you're gonna get here is definitely the Silhouette's Assault, which is the whole premise behind using Kage, because it's an AI that automatically targets things for you, so you can kind of AFK with it or use it for dungeons or leveling. Now the Silhouette's Assault also does drain stamina by the tick, and it will also drain even more stamina upon using a move. This just means that you need to have a lot of stamina while using this fruit, but this goes for quite a lot of the legendary fruits, so I'm not exactly surprised. The only thing I am surprised about is how low the damage is compared to other legendary fruits that do use that much stamina. But regardless, I guess having an AI fight for you could be appealing in many ways, so I'm going to give the strength a 7.5. As you guys can see on the screen, none of the moves were able to pull over 200 damage, which is low in the legendary category, and I guess if Silhouette's Assault counts, it does go above 200 damage, but it also uses an exorbitant amount of stamina, so 7.5 is going to be my final rating for the strength category for Kage. Moving on to utility, the first thing to note is its best move, which is Silhouette's Assault. Like I said before, Silhouette's Assault does have its own movement because it's an AI, which makes it perfect for doing dungeons and doing leveling, all those kind of good things. Now I was reading on the wiki just to get some more information about the Silhouette's Assault, and I'm hearing that some player combos will not work on it because it's an AI, so it'll move faster than the average player if you were going against, I guess, another player during PvP. Another thing to note that might be useful in some select situations is that the Silhouette will insta kill or insta grip anybody who's around it. So for example, if you're in Battle Royale and there's a Yomi user trying to death defy, the Silhouette will actually kill them before they can get a chance to pull the death defy. Like I said, it's a very specific situation, but it's things like that that kind of make the fruit better considering it's really mediocre damage. Now aside from that, I always get the same question every time I don't bring it up in a review, so I'm just gonna bring it up, is the Kraken farming. I would not recommend Kraken farming with Kage simply because it's a very close range type of fruit. The only moves with some form of range are the Fleeing and then the Burrowing Shadows, and the only reason those both have range is because they kind of launch the character towards whatever you're pointing at, but one of them, which is the Fleeing move, doesn't even do damage. It's literally used just to go away from situations. It just wouldn't be ideal for going for Kraken farming. But like I said before, if you wanted to do some dungeons or some grinding, this is the fruit to go for. Now if you're using Kage and you have the Moria Scissors weapon, then that means you will be able to use the Shadow Extraction move. This is a pretty good move by default, but it also allows you to block break, which is amazing if you're going for combo extensions or you're trying to get rid of somebody who's just spam blocking. So it's definitely a good idea to be using the scissors scissors if you have Kage, because everybody knows that scissors by itself is kind of low damage, Kage by itself is kind of low damage. You put them together, you might get something good out of it. But that's pretty much it for Kage's utility. For the most part, it's just the silhouette that kind of carries it while doing dungeons and leveling, so I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I feel like if it had a couple more ranged moves that allowed it to do some Kraken farming, it actually would maybe move up to a 9, but because it doesn't, I'm gonna have to leave it where it is. So moving on to rarity, as most of you know, I firmly believe that if a fruit somehow classes above legendary or into mythical, then it has to have some form of an ability that's unique to that fruit specifically. So for example, Magu and Mira have extreme burn and range, Hiei can freeze, that kind of thing. With that being said, I do think Kage should be a legendary fruit despite the damage, because that Silhouette's Assault is a very unique move, and I don't think there's any other fruit in the game that has an ability like that. It definitely outclasses the rares, but I couldn't see it being anywhere above a legendary, so I'm gonna give the rarity placement a 10. I don't think I've ever given any rarity placement below a 10. And finally, moving on to tradability. As I say in every video, this is community based and it changes very frequently based on what updates come out and what fruits get nerfed and buffed, so I can't exactly say that you can take this value and run with it. This is just kind of what it is for right now. So on the wiki, it has Kage placed a little below Mira as far as trading value, but everybody knows that's not accurate, so I went into the Discord just to see exactly what it was trading for. Now, it's kind of hard to get an exact value for Kage because I'm seeing it paired with a lot of other fruits or items in order to make up to one big item. As far as 1v1s, I'm seeing a lot of bounty or like small items like maybe drums, 1% items like drops, you know, stuff like that. As many of you know, fruits have been dropping in value ever since the Battle Royale update came out because it's just so easy to get legendary fruits, and then people are getting better fruits and Kraken stacking and getting more friends and stuff like that to farm with, so it's just kind of lowering the fruit values a little bit. If this video was like a few months ago prior to when people were able to get fruits at will, I probably would have given the tradability in between maybe an 8.5 or a 9, but I think just to be safe, I'm gonna give it a solid 8. It's still a legendary fruit, so that means it does hold value, it holds weight, but it doesn't hold the weight that it did prior to these updates, which means I'm gonna have to lower it a little bit. Now with all the values added up, it comes to an 8.5 out of 10. To be honest, the only reason why this fruit is classing above an 8 is because of that rarity category. I keep that in there just in case because there are some fruits that need to be lower than where they're at or higher than when they're at, so I always keep it. However, if we took that out, I do think Kage would be a flat 8, but obviously because I have that category in there, we're just gonna leave it at the 8.5. But just know that the 8.5 is only being carried by that rarity. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe and comment what you guys want me to do next. I noticed there was a small amount of you guys that enjoyed that all-star tower defense video that I posted. If you guys wanted me to start doing tower reviews or things of that nature, drop a comment. And also let me know if you enjoyed or what you would change about this review. I know there were a couple things that could be tweaked because I don't know every single thing about this fruit, but I couldn't necessarily get all of the information about it simply because of my low level and how long it was taking to do damage and farm with this fruit. I was on stream for upwards of 2 hours, I think like 2 days ago, just to try to get this level up, and I could barely do it. But like I said, I'm just trying to hit 2K before Christmas, so if you guys enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and sub with post notifications on, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.